Good morning, everyone. I hope your Friday is off to a great start. You're almost to the weekend, and we've got some great weather over the weekend in pockets. I'm going to walk you through when that takes place because you've got the sunshine out right now if you're in the metro, but we also have showers that are not too far away. So we're going to talk through that, how the rest of today goes, and a big flip in the weather that takes place during the day on Saturday that you need to know about. So I'm going to first alert you to that. Let's take a look at where we stand right now. Here's the sunshine I was talking about at 90th and West Dodge. It's looking really nice. It feels pretty good too. We're at 67. We've got a south wind that's a little active. We're getting some gusts at around 20 miles per hour. Could get a couple near 25 as we go through the rest of the morning. But let me show you the radar. And you can see not too far away, just edging into that radar view, we've got some showers near Utan. And when I zoom out a little further, you can see a big clump of those showers that are marching their way right up I-80, right about at Lincoln right now. And those will continue to make their way north and east. So if you're in the metro and just to the north of the metro, so think places like Blair, Missouri Valley, you're going to have these making their way toward you here over the next hour or so. So don't get too comfortable with that sunshine that we have in place at the moment. Let me show you the satellite and radar here and give you an idea of the cloud cover and when that starts to change. So there you can see we've got that gap that's in place right over the metro right now. Already getting the cloud cover starting to build in Elkhorn, Gretna, and it's not too long that we'll be seeing some showers roll their way in. So first alert to that, we have another round that's going to come through. Now, once we get that round to come through, things will start to dry out after that, but we've got a few more hours where we have that chance for some rain. Here's how it plays out. You can see right through that 11, 12 p.m. time frame, still having that chance for some showers. And then as we get beyond that, that will start to make its way east. Places like Red Oak, Shenandoah, about 2, 3 o'clock, you've got those showers coming through your area. And then once we get beyond that, we're all clearing out, drying out. We have a really nice evening forecast that's in place. We just got to get through those next few hours with that chance. A little bit of mugginess in the air during the next several hours. Then by the time we get to about 3 o'clock and start clearing away that cloud cover for good, we'll be seeing the mugginess drop off. And it really turns into a beautiful weekend, or a beautiful evening, I should say. We can even break out the deck night forecast, call it a nearly perfect. How many times can you say that in late October? 70s for the evening hours, lighter winds, fantastic weather. Maybe you're going to the Friday Night Fever games. Those are looking really good as well. So take advantage of that kind of weather. We get into tomorrow, we're still calm to start the day, but that will not be the case all day long. I want to stress that. So you can see some 50s that are in place in the morning, sunshine, and as we get toward the middle of the day, cloud cover starts to expand. This is as our front comes in, and you can see how we level off with the temperatures. We'll peak in the early afternoon, right around 70, and then start sliding backwards as we bring the showers in and really kick that wind up. Let me show you how that plays out. So likely a good amount of sunshine in the early going for our Saturday. I do think this is a little too aggressive with what we do for cloud cover in the morning, but I like where it goes from about this point forward, where we look at the cloud cover expanding, and here come our showers. Could get here as early as 3 o'clock in the metro for our Saturday, a little earlier if you're north and west. Not real heavy rain, and it doesn't last real long, but it will be wind driven, so that's notable. And you can see that we keep that chance going for about a 2 to 3 hour window once it arrives in our area. So looking at 3 to 8 being when we could possibly see rain, but keep in mind once it starts, it's about 2 to 3 hours after that when it gets going. I think our peak chance is about 4 to 6 for that. Then it moves off east pretty quickly. We dry things out, and that's it for the rain. Probably more notable, the wind. It starts off quiet for Saturday, then the front moves in, and look at that. We turn to the northwest. We easily get gusts near 40 miles per hour out of the northwest as we see those showers move in, and right behind that. And we could get a couple gusts that get stronger than that. 45, 50 are certainly within reach. So If you have any Halloween decorations outdoors, you might want to make sure those are tied down really well. It's going to turn blustery for the late afternoon, early evening for Saturday. And we'll keep a decent breeze into the nighttime hours. We'll still likely have some gusts that are going about 25, 30 miles per hour early in the night before we start calming those down later in the night. So here's what the weekend overall looks like. Once we get past 2, 3 o'clock, we really should have that rain out of the area for today. The wind calms down and it turns really nice at that point. Tomorrow, it's once we get to about 3 p.m. and beyond, where we look at some of those spotty showers and a lot of wind being in place. And we're going to be looking at a really nice fall-like forecast for our Sunday. You see 67, sunshine, a little bit of a breeze, but nothing too strong, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Those are the weakest winds that we'll have over the next several days, though. When we get into the beginning of next week, we have some more systems that'll make their way in. Nighttime temperatures, by the time we get to Sunday morning, will be near 40 degrees. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I think spots north of the metro could dip into the 30s. In the metro, I think we stay just above that. And that's notable because we still have not hit the 30s this fall officially at Epley, and we're getting very close to being in the top 10 or top 5 for the latest that we have had that be the case. Tuesday is the 21st, so if we can make it to Tuesday, we would be in the top 5 for the latest time we've registered a 39 or colder degree reading in the metro. And I'll tell you what, we have some 30s showing up on the 10-day. Let me show you how this plays out. So pretty mild through the weekend. Watch what happens behind Monday's system. Monday's going to be a lot like what we see for Saturday, where we see another system in the afternoon with a few light showers and a good amount of wind. That will pull in some cold, cooler, dry air, and that will allow us to drop down quite a bit. Notice the blues that are showing up there as we get into Tuesday and Tuesday night. Tuesday will be windy enough that it's going to be breezy. We'll look at temperatures that top out around 60, and then we get a brief window overnight where those winds will calm some. And when you get cold, dry air like that without much motion, you can really see things plummet off. So let me show you where I have us right now for our temps. The 10-day forecast, you can see daytime temps 60s and 70s. Easily the coolest day there is Tuesday, where we'll decrease. The clouds have that wind gusting up around 30, 35 miles per hour. Tuesday night, 38 is where I have us, and there is potential that goes lower. If that does become the case, if we see that window of the calm winds line up with the nighttime hours, we could be putting ourselves in first frost territory, and that would become a first alert 6 weather day. So first alert to that. That is something that may happen there for our Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Beyond that, we get into a pretty quiet pattern. It's still a little breezy for Wednesday. We'll be looking at a lot of temps, though, that peak in the mid to upper 60s and have nighttime temps that get into the low 40s for the back half of next week. Looks pretty good for that next home Husker game that will take place next weekend. Of course, the Huskers do play tonight in Minneapolis, and for anyone who may be wondering about the forecast up there, I think a lot of people are probably already either on their way or in Minneapolis, but just in case you are someone who is really pushing the time frame, here's what you're looking at for a forecast. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff, and temps near 60s with the winds calming. Looks really good for that one up in Minneapolis. So we've got our next wave of showers on the way. That'll be here in the next couple of hours, pushing in right now into areas just west of the metro. So as we go through the 10 o'clock hour, we'll likely have some raindrops falling in the metro. May have a rumble or two of thunder alongside that too. And then once we push those off to the east, I'd say by about 1 o'clock we should be drying things out in the metro and clearing things out. Keep tabs on the forecast with the First Alert 6 weather app as we go through the weekend. I'll have all the details and any tweaks to this forecast as we get into our midday newscast coming up here at the top of the hour. join us for that. And otherwise, enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend. We'll have some great weather hours, but you do need to stay on top of some of those changes that take place at times, particularly for the second half of our Saturday.